let's start this video off with a little bit of trivia. If you're doing a tech review for camera equipment you plan to use in the car, would you A, just record or pull generic footage for the tech that you're showcasing, just do some driving on the highway, that kind of thing? Or B, would you use this equipment to record yourself recklessly driving 3 times the speed limit in a school zone? Now, what may seem like an easy answer to most is a very, very difficult question that MKBHD, or Marcus Brownlee, unfortunately incorrectly answered. You see, MK recently made a video where he is going over, as I described it, some camera equipment essentially to use while in the car. He showcases some of the usage for it, like the one to go in front of the car. And then there was also this first person setup that he was running to show you the inside of the car while he's moving. Overall, a seemingly normal tech review thing that MK is most commonly known for. Now, if I had been recording this yesterday, I would have been able to show you this third clip without going to Twitter because it was in that video. Randomly in this video, Marcus, for some reason, or maybe his editor for some reason, throws in a clip of him driving in a Lambo. And as you can see here, and this has been the contentious point. Now keep in mind, this was just like secondary stock footage. It wasn't necessarily the most important footage to add, but as you can see here, there's a speedometer here, that 21. It's a Lamborghini of some sort, looks very nice, and it goes very fast. And we're gonna take a look here. Now the video is gonna make a point of this, but yes, that is indeed a second speed that you can see on the dashboard. Don't ask me why there's a speedometer on the passenger seat. It's a Lamborghini, never been in one, probably never will be. But back to the video, you're gonna notice something very, very cool. The next thing that they point out is the fact that the speed limit in this area is 35 miles an hour. As you can see by the speedometer, we're already approaching almost double. Now the next cool red circle is another very serious issue with this clip. That right there, although it may be hard to identify, people have been referencing that this is a school zone. So I went ahead just to check because, you know, I want to make sure that we're actually pointing that out. And you can see here that this sign outlines very similarly to what we see in the clip. If we go back in, it's very grainy and a bit hard to see. You can't really see the text here, but it's that exact same character with the same kind of limb direction. So I believe it is this slow school sign. But does Marcus just stop at, you know, almost doubling the speed? No, no, he doesn't. Notice additionally, as we're revving up to 77, which is past double, that they decided to blur the normal speedometer. But I guess, you know, including us, the editor had no reason to believe that this little number here had anything to do with the speed, because what single car ever does that? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, 96 miles per hour. Apologies, I suck at math, but 96 miles per hour, just 9 shy of tripling the speed limit in a school zone. Now, believe it or not, this is a pretty bad look. Keep in mind the difference between this 35 mile an hour and 96 would be that a child, you know, getting hit might have a few broken bones, might actually survive, to that child exploding. So naturally, people take to the internet and they're writing, hey, this is bad, this is bad. Do you see on Marcus Brownlee? He's speeding like crazy in a school zone. And so he does the right thing. And he leaves this comment: cut out the unnecessary driving clip that obviously added nothing to the video. I hear all your feedback on sponsored videos too. Now I did some digging. The laws are different for speeding in different states. Some states will charge you with a felony if you end up speeding past over the limit. I was wanting to say that this was like reckless driving, but I think that that is classified as something different. But I think speeding in a school zone is more likely going to result in a higher fine. From my research in New Jersey, however, the laws seem a lot more lax. From what I've read, you can't get a felony by speeding, but when you're in a school zone, it doubles the fine. So what is typically a normal charge, which since he was going 30 plus over the limit would be something like $250, $260, it would instead be doubled, so $500, which for me seems more of like a consequence of your class and an economic standing rather than, you know, actually punishing you for doing something stupid. Additionally, I just don't think that just throwing money at this situation kind of rectifies or redeems, you know, the situation at hand, which is that you were doing this, almost tripling the speed limit around a school. which I think is pretty bad. Very hot take, very hot take, very bad to go speeding around children. Now, I watched a video that Mudahar made, or Some Ordinary Gamers, go check it out. I'll put the link down in the description. I think it makes a good point. Now, people with like these luxury sports cars, like MKBHD with this Lambo, sometimes will, I think he called it ripping, and I'm not much of a car guy. I don't know enough to know. He refers to other YouTubers that he watches that, you know, drive cars like that, and they do something very similar to MK where they blur the speedometer and then they just go cruising. But the difference being is that they're not like ripping the car in a school zone with a really low like speed limit. They're going out onto the highway, usually super late at night, so there aren't even cops around, and just gunning it. But Marcus didn't do that, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why he wouldn't. I don't know why he wouldn't just take it to the highway. Maybe he was running out of time, but I don't think that it's fair to make the assessment, but I am interested, I am curious. I don't know how busy you need to be to put the lives of children in danger by, you know, just getting a 12-second clip for your tech review video. But it very well could not be that. There could be some other reason, which doesn't excuse it, but I'd like to know. I'm just kidding, he already said something. People were obviously not going to be satisfied with the comment that he left on YouTube because it is just so far ignoring the situation. And so he took to Twitter. Last video, I did something pretty stupid. You might have already seen it, but maybe not, so I'll address it here. There was a clip with the action cam of me test driving a car and going way too fast. Absolutely inexcusable and dangerous. I've since cut it out of the video with YouTube's editor tool. I also understand that this looks like covering it up, but I think it's the right thing to do. There's no reason to leave that clip in. There was no reason to include it in the first place, and I would have never wanted to make it seem okay by leaving it in the video. I'm well aware of the Streisand effect, and I know everything on the internet lives forever, but I think that's the best decision right now. All I can do is apologize and promise never to do anything close to that stupid again. That's a terrible example to set, and I'm sorry for it. Honestly, pretty good apology. Can't really complain much from it. He admits that it was dumb. You know, you can't really expect more than, you know, him just accepting that it was really stupid, shouldn't have been in the video, and that he apologizes for it. He recognizes it was a bad example to set, and he's not gonna do it again. It's really most of what you could expect from an apology. I think it's funny that he references that he understands it looks like covering it up. Well, you will be receiving a fine, you know, if you were to keep it up, I'd assume. If where you were driving it was New Jersey, then, you know, they would have grounds to get your ass with that $500 fine. But in addition to that, some of the replies on the tweet were, I think, interesting. Looks like covering it up. You already tried to do that by blurring it on the dashboard when you hit higher speeds. And we'd already talked about that before, like he already knew that he was speeding. And again, a lot of other YouTubers that do this kind of thing, but as like, you know, a content creation path will go onto highways when they're empty and try the same thing. And they will blur their speedometer to avoid catching fines and whatnot. So MK could have been doing a very similar thing, or he could have also been doing that, or he could have been doing that to hide the fact that he was driving this fast in this area, but we can make an educated guess based on the fact that he was revving the Lambo to make an assumption that maybe he wasn't going 35. I don't know if a Lambo makes that kind of noise at 35. Again, regardless of, you know, what the people are saying on Twitter, I do think it's a genuinely good apology, and it's the right step forward. I think at this point, most people expect that MK is going to have like genuinely good apologies if he messes up, because he left such a good impression with the previous, you know, screw up, the Panels wallpaper app. For those who don't know, MKBHD had released an app, and they were charging $50 a year, I think is like a premium thing, to get wallpapers. And that was kind of the basic understanding of the app, and everyone was calling him stupid for that and a bit of a hypocrite, because his personality and what he does for a living is kind of point out and call out scam products and things like that. And from everyone's point of view, this was an absolute scam of an app. But he made this video talking about Panels, which very concisely, you know, explained their points of view, what they were trying to do, and a bunch of big changes, like changing it to like $2 a month for a premium thing, having a completely free side of it that was useful, and an ability to buy all of the wallpapers to support the artists that were making it for $50 a year, which equated to, I think he said something like a little over $4 a month. And we see here even the top comments are saying, hey, that's a really good apology, appreciate it. But that's it for the video today. We're gonna move on to members shoutouts. It's probably gonna be an annoying voice. And if you want me to say your name at the ends of videos, it's only 99 cents to become a member, and I would really appreciate it. There's gonna be gaming content soon. Okay, I'll see you, bye, adios.
Today we are gonna be Mr. Z. Special shout out to Sebastian, Owen Murnane, Doxy, Super Weeb Bros, Terasal, Clintio's mom, thank you mom, Pink Plasma, Breezy Drill at Clint Wolf Productions, Michael Parks, K, Munzie, Shelf Related, Lil Kitty, Kim Nuggets, OMG It's a Pancake, Boy Tiger Rockin', Hexstream, Tom Benenge, Joen, Michael Duvka, Mel TF2, Jeremy Stelka, Waylon, Yogi Farmer, Zinzo0913, TL, Sir Kitty Litter, River Rocks, Nolan Brown, Naomi Jimenez, Sindosphere, Browsty, Tommy C's Cat, Emp40, PB Whitkey, Alex, Yesamol, Basically Bricks, Cooking with Silence, Kate Munster, Quintio's Brother, Nose ABI, Saya Sneaker, For All Yarn Kind, Esme Smiley Face, Elise JK, Clad, Kate's Mom, and Bozia. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Consider doing it if you haven't already and you stuck around to the end. Adios. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.